Ground Batmas pose an interesting array of challenges, just like everything else we do at the bar. But this ties together everything we've now worked for. So we're having to apply our flexibility, our endurance, and the ability to keep our alignment in check all at the same time. And this should be happening throughout all of bar, but I really see a lot of things pop up with our ground batmas. When we're going through our ground batma, we really need to make sure again that we're working through our tendu, through our dégagé, and then lifting up. Now, when our dancers are working on the height of it, I ask that we do it completely squared off first, so our hips are in check, and that may mean a lower ground batma. I would rather see it cleaned up properly than lift higher with a wonky alignment. So when we're talking about that, we don't want to be lifting in the hip. It should be nice and controlled, squared off. Same thing for the side. You need to make sure that you're using your natural turnout to strengthen that turnout. So you go through that tendu, through that dégagé, and then you're going to lift up. So if my turnout is softer, that's the direction it will be going. For those who have a stronger turnout and you can take it fully to the side, then you can ground batma further to the side. But that's all about how your hip rotation works. When we do our ground batmas to the back, now we are working our back strength and flexibility. So if dancers are tight in their backs, that can pose a challenge for getting our leg up higher. And what I see happen a lot is a tilt forward. So when we go back, I see this occur. And what we want is for our back to remain upright and not push until our leg makes us. So the movement should be here rather than allowing it to drop. Everything should stay upright. Now there are nuances once you get past the 90-degree angle of your leg, then you're allowed to open a bit more and use a different part of like your hips and your back and whatnot. But when you're first squaring them off, you really need to have a strong foundation of that back going up. Another thing that I see is letting our arms throw. We've talked so much about the height of our leg, we sometimes forget that our arms need to be in control too. And I see this when we go to the front, we'll kind of like droop it, or to the back, we get like basketball arms. And that tends to relay to our neck and we crunch it back instead of lengthening up our spine, which includes our neck. Another thing that I see is when we're practicing our side ground batmas, getting a pivot effect, in which case we'll roll sometimes to drive the leg up, or we'll tilt to the side to try to lift our leg up, in which case we kind of open and it softens the work in our leg instead of staying upright. If you're twisting, it leads to your knee turning in or lifting really weird angles, or if we pivot to the side, then we lose our lines instead of staying nice and tall. Again, the more we pull up out of our hips, the easier it is for your leg to work within the hip socket, essentially. Hopefully this makes sense, and if there's any questions, again, always feel free to comment or ask me in class. We want our ground batmas to really set us up for everything that we're doing, again, when we get out center, and we want to make sure that it's relatable and understandable. Be sure to check back tomorrow as we talk about different types of conditioning and why that's important for us dancers. I will see you then.